Shouldn't have to. Just have to reinitialize with the mic selected. Alright.
Testing. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Intrepidation Nation podcast. I am Tech Gladiator, and with us today is Stando TV.
Hello.
And Lycanthropus.
How's it going, guys?
Alright, we had a little technical difficulties, but my microphone was not working, but we're good now. It's all good. We are fine. We're perfectly fine here now. How are you doing?
Awesome sauce.
I'm doing good.
What do you say to that?
I'm sitting here in front of my computer.
It brought to mind when I was asking you how everybody was doing. It brought to mind when Han Solo was communicating with the other officer or whatever on the Death Star, trying to say, "Oh, we're fine here. How are you doing?" And then he shoots the panel and says, "Boring conversation anyway."
It's been awesomely flippin', fluffin', fantastic.
All right. So, anyways, we have a first-time guest, Lycan. You have a topic you want to start us off with tonight?
Yeah, actually, it's not exactly a fresh topic. It's something that went down a couple. I think it was about a month, maybe a month and a half ago. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I know Tech, you play H1Z1.
Yep.
And I know you probably saw the insane ban wave that happened. It was something around. Oh yeah, did you not hear about this?
No, I didn't. I haven't played H1Z1 much.
There was 30,000 people banned from the game.
I have heard about this.
Bandwave.
And no, listen to this ban wave. I know exactly what he's talking about. In order to get unbanned, and these are people that actually cheated the game, they have to make an apology YouTube video, and they might get unbanned.
Yeah.
And tweet it to the developer of the game.
Yeah, they have to make a public apology stating why they were banned, what they were doing that caused them to get banned, and then they may get unbanned.
You know what I say?
Wow.
Bravo, Breaking Dawn.
Yes, bravo. I wish they would do that on Call of Duty to frickin' cheaters and frickin' hacks on the game.
But it's just funny because, it's a big debate with a lot of the people that play it. Because the main place that these people were cheating was in Battle Royale, where if you win these matches, you're getting the cosmetic gear that people are paying for.
Dude, you agreed to a terms of service.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like terms of service, whether you paid for it or not, you don't get to play anymore.
Yeah, but it was funny. The first one that John Smedley, which is the lead for Daybreak. That's the name of that company, not
Daybreak. I'm sorry, I don't know. Same difference.
Yeah, but he posted the first one finally got posted, And it's hilarious because the first thing the guy says in the video is, "I was cheating, but I thought I had to." And apparently, the cheating had become such a problem in the game that basically this guy's trying to say that he thought to be able to play the game, he had to cheat. And apparently he's like sitting there talking about how he spent all this money on the game, like by buying cases and keys and everything else. And like, it cracks me up because the guy never really sounds like he's apologizing. It just sounds like he's saying, "Hey, listen, I spent a lot of money in your game, and I thought I needed to cheat to be able to stay alive, so you should give me my account back."
He's making excuses instead of apologizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it cracks me up because I'm like, why would that, like, I would sit there and if I was this guy, this John Smedley, I would let all these people send me these videos, and I would embarrass them and show these videos, and then I would just leave them banned.
Good job, Daybreak. Good
Yeah.
job.
Good job. Yeah. Activision, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, they need to get on that bandwagon.
EA.
EA. Well, yeah, EA too.
Everybody. I mean, if you've got multiplayer in your game, yes, get on this bandwagon. And not people who are camping. They're playing by the rules. They're just that's a play style. But people who are actually cheating the system with aim bots, whatever, ban them.
Well, I think that I don't know if you guys have ever messed around with CS:GO very much, but they have a system in it called Overwatch.
And basically, I suck at it.
Basically, the way that the Overwatch system works is once you win, I think it's 150 ranked games, and you get to a certain rank, or 150 competitive matches, and you get to a certain rank, you get into the bracket where they might possibly send you an invite to join the Overwatch committee. And basically, what it is, it's a bunch of guys that have obviously played the game for quite some time. And they get sent cases where people have been reported for aim hacking or wall hacking or whatever the case may be, griefing.
Right.
And they watch the games, and then they decide at the end of those games, what what hacks that person might have been using, and then basically, I guess Valve takes all of that into as evidence, basically, for whether or not these people are hacking or not. And I think that's actually a really good idea because you might be one of those guys that just had a lucky game,
right?
And you might have wall banged a couple of people, but it could have just been, "Hey, I'm going to fire right there and see if somebody's there."
Right.
But I think the cheats that they were using on H1Z1, because I've seen them get banned for cheating before.
Oh, they were like teleporting around the map, flying.
Yeah, it's noticeable stuff.
I've been killed by invisible people on the game before.
They were using no-clip cheats to be able to walk through walls. Like, yeah, it was ridiculous. Like they stopped even caring. Like, that was how bad the cheating was, which is why they ended up banning. It was 30,000 people, and the funny thing is, apparently most of it was from, I think it was China. There was a lot of the accounts were based in China because apparently a big thing in the game was people would walk up, and I can't remember the exact thing they said, but basically they would ask, I think it was Jaromai or something like that, but it was Chinese for something along the lines of, are you Chinese, or and stuff like that. And apparently it was just so bad over there, like everybody was hacking.
Wow.
And so you would get into Battle Royale games where that would be what they were yelling at the beginning of the match, and then they would find like a group of them, and they would go through and just wipe out everyone.
I said, good job.
Oh, yeah.
Daybreak.
Yep.
Yeah, it's when you have to ban 30,000 people, like, it was obviously a problem that needed to be handled, and they handled it. Which is definitely good. I mean, and like I said, if I was them, I would just publicly embarrass these people and then leave them banned. And the thing was, it wasn't even an IP ban. It was just those accounts. So they can actually go out and rebuy the game and make another account if they wanted to. Which apparently it's already becoming a problem again from what a lot of videos I've seen online and stuff. Like, hacking's already becoming a problem again in the game. But I mean, there's certain games that are just going to be plagued with it. DayZ was the same way when it first came out, and then H1Z1 came out, and everybody that was playing DayZ, or a lot of people that were playing DayZ, switched to H1Z1. And so then, in doing that, a lot of the people that were hacking in DayZ switched to H1Z1. So,
Because H1Z1's the better game right now.
I mean, I've heard both sides of the argument, but me personally, I think it's the better game. I think it's a lot more polished. It's a lot more stable.
It's closer to being finished, and it's still being updated, and where DayZ's not. So yeah.
All right.
Good topic.
Yes,
Very good topic.
So
give
good
like
topic.
and give like and a follow, twitch.tv/lycanthropus.
Yep.
Awesome sauce.
Yep. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, Stan. Ready for your topic?
I have 2 topics.
Stan has 2 topics. Nice.
overachieve.
Overachiever. I want to start off with this breaking news. The Evil Dead series from Sam Raimi is coming to Stars. It's going to be called The Evil Dead versus Ash. The Evil Dead movie franchise. This is from the BruceCampbell.com newsroom. The Evil Dead movie franchise has officially crossed over to television with the 10-episode straight-to-series order from Stars for a 2015 premiere titled Ash, Sam Raimi's Evil Dead, the follow-up to the classic film franchise. It reteams the original filmmakers, directors Sam Raimi, longtime producing partner Rob Tappert, and star Bruce Campbell, who will serve as executive producers. Campbell will be reprising his role as Ash, the stock boy aging Lothario and chainsaw-handed monster hunter who has spent the last 30 years avoiding responsibility, maturity, and terrors of the Evil Dead. When a deadite plague threatens to destroy all of mankind, Ash is finally forced to face his demons, personal and literal. Destiny, it turns out, has no plans to release the unlikely hero from its evil grip. That's awesome.
That's going to be awesome.
Very cool. Looking forward to that. Much love the original Evil Dead series, especially the second 2 movies in the series.
Yeah, and we've not seen this since the 90s. I think Army of Darkness was released in the early 90s. So
Yeah, like I think 93 or something like that. They did have that re-release, or not re-release, but that redo of Evil Dead. But I don't
it's
think
kind of a reboot, remake thing.
I don't think that probably doesn't even really fall along the line.
Yeah, that one was kind of. Yeah, that one was kind of off on its own. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie though. That movie was creepy as hell.
I'm very excited about this. I'm a big Bruce Campbell fan, and I'm excited to see him return to this role that he's not been in, obviously, a very long time. 20 years. So it's going to be interesting.
Bruce Campbell's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
I guess what's his most recent role been? What, in Burn Notice maybe?
Well, he was Sam Axe in Burn Notice. Absolutely, he did the My Name Is Bruce movie. Yeah, just here and there.
Oh, okay.
So he was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But the cameos, but he was there.
Right,
Cool.
but the Burn Notice thing, he was after that. I mean, anything Sam Raimi, he's definitely guest appeared in. So
he used to frequently appear in Xena and Hercules back in the 90s.
Oh
That's
yeah,
true.
he did, didn't he? Yeah.
Let's see, Briscoe County Jr. used to be a thing.
Yeah, that was a cool show. Very cool show.
So apparently, I was reading a different article about the Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying that apparently Lucy Lawless is actually also going to be part of the cast.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's going to be, it says, meanwhile he's contending with other mysterious figures, such as one played by Lucy Lawless, with their own agendas.
Interesting.
Pretty cool. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I'd love to see what Starz does with this as an original series. Of course, Starz having a direct partnership with Netflix will also get that series on Netflix, so which will be when I watch it. So
Probably when I watch it too.
binge watching it on the Netflix. It'll be awesome.
I'm really excited about the fact that it's not going to be on like Spike or FX or something, because the censorship I think would take away from the show itself.
Not really, because you know what? FX gets around that somehow. Because I've been watching Justified, and there's parts in that movie that you think should be better censored. Or did they
Oh,
just
that's
say
true.
that?
They also had it on what was it? They also
Sons of Anarchy.
Spartacus was also the first season of Spartacus was on HBO,
Yeah,
and then it moved over to what was it? FX, I think.
I'm
It
not
was either
sure,
FX or Spike, one or the other.
not real sure,
But
but
that was kind of the same way. It was like you watch certain parts of it, and you're like, this shouldn't be on public access.
right. Well, Sons of Anarchy was the same way. You know, that there was a couple of scenes in Sons of Anarchy, and you're like, this okay. Don't let your kids watch this. But yeah, I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it'll be pretty fun. See, I didn't know. I was wondering if it's like going to be a redo from maybe continuing from the movie or its own thing with the new actor playing Ash. So to see that it's actually the original cast and creators and everything, that's completely, totally awesome.
Absolutely, and to see that, yeah, Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell both have a say. You know, they're putting it out there. They're producing it. Spot on. We know we're going to get it right, and it's going to be a loyal. It's like George Miller returning to do the Mad Max film, Fury Road. So yeah,
Oh, I want to see that movie so bad.
totally up for it.
Did you have you seen that yet, Stan?
Yes,
What'd you think?
it's fantastic. It's a 2 hour action packed. It's a two. I'm not spoiling the movie for you guys because you guys haven't seen it, but it's basically a 2 hour, 2 hour action scene,
Oh wow, really?
and it is awesome. There's not a whole lot of talking in the film, but when there is some scripted dialogue, it's meaningful. So it's a very good it's a very good film.
That's good though, because I mean that's kind of once he stopped being a police officer, he was kind of like in the original ones. Mel Gibson. His role, he didn't have a whole lot of like just banter. Basically, like pretty much everything that was said was actually said for a reason,
Right.
and so that's good. They kind of kept true to that.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. And then you had another topic there. I thought
I did. This one has me kind of a little worried. Um, Big Trouble Little China. Big Trouble Little China gets a remake, produced and starring, produced by and starring The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Um, I can see this going one either way. Like it could be actually really, really good because The Rock has done some really, really good stuff, like his role in the Fast and Furious films and things of that nature. The Walking Tall movie and things like that. He's got some good stuff out there, but he's also got some real shit out there. So I'm kind of worried because Big Trouble Little China is one of these. It's John Carpenter. You know what I mean? It's Kurt Russell. This is a cult film with a very, very loyal following. And if you screw it up, man, it's all on him. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know that I would attempt or be brave enough to try to touch that.
What was your guys' feelings on the X-Men First Class?
I like First Class.
Okay,
First Class
because
I liked a lot. Yeah, I haven't
The
got
only
to
X
see
Men movie.
the last one yet.
this
The,
does tie into your current topic. That's why I was asking.
okay, the only X Men movie I didn't like was X Men 3.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I think
X Men
that was
United.
probably the one that most people probably liked the least.
Right. But Days of Future Past was amazing, and it kind of fixed the timeline and They're doing some things with the first class cast there, and I think the X Men movies are great.
The reason I asked that is because Ashley Miller and Zach Stentz, who wrote X Men First Class, are the ones writing the script for Big Trouble in Little China, or Big Trouble in Little China.
Now, like I said, that doesn't change things. We're talking about a series that was. This is going to be a rehash, and I know you want to bring it in for a new generation, but you're going to have a lot of diehard fans out there that are going to go see this movie already wanting to hate it.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I see. I definitely see it being one of those that if people have never seen the original, if it's somebody that really young or something like that, they're probably going to go into it and think it's a pretty good movie because, like you said, Dwayne Johnson has done a lot of, as of late at least. His first couple of movies were terrible,
You're right.
but as of late, he's done some pretty decent movies.
Hmm.
And so the people that have seen him in those and then are going to see him in this are probably going to think it's pretty good. But then you're going to have the guys that saw the original Big Trouble in Little China, and it's going to be hard to look past the fact that the role that was played by Kurt Russell is now being played by Dwayne Johnson.
Right, and exactly that's. Whew, I just can't see The Rock playing a trucker. Like I can see him being the badass and all this other stuff. I don't know.
Well, that and I mean it's one of those things where like if they had, it's almost like Kurt Russell and The Rock are just drastically different looking people.
No kidding. Yeah.
Like I mean, just like, and I'm not even talking like just looks. Like I'm talking like body size. Like The Rock is a very very large man, and it's just going to be weird to think about the original movie where it was Kurt Russell and he wasn't really this big dude that you.
No, he was an underdog.
Yeah, and in this movie, like it's going to be really hard to paint Dwayne Johnson as an underdog.
I agree with you completely.
Like the dude could bench press a car. Like, like it's gonna be hard to be like, oh no, he's gonna get his ass kicked for the first hour and a half. No, he's not.
What do you think, Tech? What do you think, Tech? Have a thought?
No, not really.
No, not really. You didn't have any passion for the original Big Trouble in Little China or anything like that?
Nah, not really.
Hurt my heart.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think it had one of the most overdone villain kills I've ever seen in my life. It was awesome.
I love Lopan in that movie though, man. It's awesome.
Like the ending of that movie is just fucking so over the top, but it's awesome.
Well, everything about that movie was over
Yeah,
the
that's
top.
true.
That's what
Yeah,
made it cool.
there was nothing. There was nothing really that was.
It was 1980s over the top, which is what was great. And you know what? That's why one of the things I heard the other day is somebody was asking, in the 80s we had all these great movies and these great cult classics. Will we ever be there again? No, we won't. You know why? Because in the 80s everything was an original idea, and you didn't have very many of them coming out at a time because it was very hard to put these ideas together because everything used pretty much practical effects and staging, and now you can just do all this stuff on computer with CGI, and it not very much
so
thought has to go into it.
Right after one after the other.
So no, I don't think we'll ever have that back again. And
even like with the Marvel movies, and I love the Marvel movies, they're great and everything, but at the same time they'll never have the level of cultness to them that those older movies had, because they're just able to pump these movies out and everything, which is great. I mean, it's great that they're doing it in a structure that they are, because it is in a way kind of unique because they're all tied together, and it's going to be an overlapping story over each movie, but each movie individually is not gonna like Avengers: Age of Ultron. I liked it and everything; it was really cool, it was awesome, but maybe it's just because I'm an old jaded adult.
Oh, I liked Age of Ultron
Um,
too.
oh, you did get to see it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, awesome, good deal.
No spoilers. I
Um,
haven't seen it.
okay, but it didn't. And again, maybe it's just because I'm an adult and everything. And maybe if I'd seen it as a kid, I would have loved it more. But when I was a kid, though, too, you didn't have all these movies like we have now back then either at the same time. So they were fewer. So when you did have them, you really held on to them and everything. As compared to now, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's great, it's awesome, it's cool, but it doesn't have that same magic feeling that those movies back in those days had when you went and everything, because it was something special. It wasn't
Right.
something coming out all the time and everything. And of course, we wish that they had more. We would love, our childhood selves would love all this stuff now. Would
All
love it. But
No, no, no,
and
no,
I
no, no,
still love it,
no.
but
I
not the same
wouldn't.
way.
I wouldn't because you know what? I'm tired of Michael Bay raping my childhood.
No, well, I'm
It's-
not talking about Michael Bay. I'm talking about the Marvel movies, and
Oh,
and
I
okay.
even
was.
like Batman
I've
versus
I've been
Superman.
waiting for that name to be brought up this entire conversation.
Well, I remember in my childhood before damn, I can't think of his name. Damn.
Speaking of your
Uh,
childhood, they're coming out with a live-action Johnny Quest movie.
oh, I was never big into Johnny Quest, but
I used to watch Johnny Quest all the
it
time.
was all right, but well, it wasn't anything. But now Christian Bale. Okay, I was like, I can't believe I forgot Christian Bale's name for a moment. But
I'm Batman.
I'm old.
Swear to me.
But before
Swear to
Christian
me.
Bale, before George Clooney's nipples, before Val Kilmer's nipples, before Michael Keaton, in between the 1960s Batman and the 1989 Batman movie, when I was a child, I used to like picture and imagine like, what if they just did a really cool Batman movie where it was serious and everything like that. And this was like, yeah, way before. This was probably like around 1980, 81 and everything. I would just think about this like, wouldn't it be awesome to do like a real serious Batman movie that was, not all cartoony, goofy, campy like the 60s
It
Batman.
would have been cool.
And they finally did do that
But
with
don't
the,
don't don't down the '60s Batman though, man. I
No,
liked
no,
it
I'm
for what it
not. I'm
was.
not because I love it. I'm just saying though, for what it was silly and campy. But I mean, but it wasn't like how Batman, the true capture of
Right, right,
Batman
right,
was.
right, right. Speaking of 1960s Batman, hey, Lycan, guess who was in Knoxville?
Who?
Uh,
What are
Adam
you
West.
just the 1960s Batman?
Adam West was in Knoxville this past weekend, and so was Burt Ward.
Oh, awesome!
Really? That's cool.
Um, but and I'm gonna do this to you, Ted, because I can. Uh,
Okay.
we all know that Tom Selleck was approached to do Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think about that now, like, what kind of Indiana Jones would that be? I mean, he's no Harrison Ford. Apparently, James Bond. There have been some crazy things going on with James Bond. After Sean Connery left the role of James Bond, Adam West was approached to be James Bond.
Holy crap!
Turned it down because he said it belonged in the hands of a UK, someone in the UK. Clint,
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked in my head.
And you know
Clint,
what? I think that was I respect Adam West for doing that because that might have been good for his career, but I respect him for that actually.
right? Clint Eastwood was offered the role and said, "That's not my stick."
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, yep.
Why
After the
would
role of
they?
James Bond.
Why would they try to get Clint Eastwood to play James Bond?
This was after Sean Connery. They were trying to, make
You
it.
know, I understand, but I'm like thinking of Sean Connery, and I'm thinking of Clint Eastwood.
Could you imagine? My name's
Clint Eastwood's awesome, but he's not James Bond.
Yeah, like yeah, Clint Eastwood. I mean, Clint Eastwood is a badass that I still wouldn't try to fight.
My name's Bond.
But it's just one of those. Yeah, exactly. Like I can't imagine him saying the tagline.
You feel lucky, punk. I want a vodka martini, shaken not
I
stirred.
couldn't see Harrison Ford
Yeah,
even as James Bond either.
but you know who begged and begged and begged to be James Bond before Timothy Dalton in the '80s was Mel Gibson, and they turned him down.
He begged.
Broccoli turned him down. So
Wow.
I
But he's Australian though. Mel Gibson
no,
is.
no, he was born in New York, and then they moved to Australia, and he was raised there until he was 12
Oh.
before he went back to the States.
So that's the only reason why he has the accent. Ah.
I think the accent's forced because if you see it in a lot of movies,
Yeah,
he doesn't have it at all,
right.
and it almost sounds more natural when he doesn't have it. If that makes any sense.
But in his drunken stupor rages, didn't he have his accent in those?
No,
Oh, really? So maybe he
no.
was faking it all.
When he's not in role, he doesn't use an accent. He just sounds like an ordinary guy without that doesn't really have an accent.
Yeah.
I've heard him in interviews though with the Australian accent and everything.
Maybe when he was around the Mad Max era, like
No, even
I
after
would say
that,
in the,
like
but I think it's wore off of him as time's grown on.
Hmm.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting facts for
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
That's funny,
Definitely.
man. I never could have imagined Clint Eastwood as James Bond. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one.
You're right. Clint Eastwood as James Bond. Clint
Make my
Eastwood, James
day.
Bond, 007.
Oh wait, guys. I gotta. Okay, I'm gonna link. I'm gonna send an image in Skype, and you need to look at it. I just found a really funny Clint Eastwood James Bond related image. Wait
Were
a
you
second.
Googling to make sure I was on my?
No. I was wanting to read about it because it was interesting, and then I was like, then I found something that was just funny.
I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh wait, there we go.
It's just a link. Yeah, it's just a link.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I can't. Oh man, I'm not. I'm trying to show it on here, and it's like. Now how do I get rid of? Shoot, how do I get rid of that? The chat window. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let me see. How can I get this to show? Wait a minute. Let me do this. I'm gonna push you guys over to the side a little bit.
And then it's your turn for topic tech.
And okay, there we go. Yep. All right, now I got to get you guys back.
It's just too funny.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that when I searched. Like, I was just searching for the like the story behind it, and
Oh, now what's up with this white bar over here? Now my Skype window's messed up.
Oh gosh, we got to teach tech how to use Skype.
Well, it's got this sidebar on here, and I don't know how to get rid of it now.
You just drag it back.
I'm trying.
Click on it and just drag it back.
Trying to. Oh my gosh.
Click on it, hold it down, and then drag.
I am. I know what I'm doing. I give people tech support all the time. It won't
What?
go
Wait.
away.
Dick Van Dyke was also considered.
Yes, Dick Van Dyke was also considered after Sean Connery.
All right, hang
Yeah.
on a moment. I'm gonna switch.
Yeah, there was Yeah, you're right. There was a ton of people considered in like 1967,
Hmm.
which is of course right after the Sean Connery.
But they wanted to make it an American. They wanted an American in the role, which was kind of it's so off the wall to even think of what an American
Okay,
would
there we
be
go.
in that role.
Yeah, I mean, because he's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like the current person they have playing him. I can't think of his name right now.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, I actually really
Okay,
like
there we
Daniel
go.
Craig's like the iteration of Bond that's going through right now.
I do as well. I do as well. I can't wait for
Because it's a grimier.
Spectre. Spectre's going to be amazing.
Oh, is that the next one that's coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's a grimier, you know.
Comes out this November.
Damn, I still have not watched that trailer for that. All right. Okay, so we got this working. So, all right. So, time for my topic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get the spotlight for a moment here. Okay. My topic is we all know our major superheroes have a code that keeps them from killing the bad guys. They, with the exception of people like, say, the Punisher and people like that, here are true core pure heroes such as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Spider-Man, Captain America, Thor, the Avengers, most of the Avengers anyway. They don't kill the bad guys. They capture them, imprison them, whatever, and sometimes even go out of their way to save the bad guys from dying. Like Spider-Man, I know, has actually gone and rescued and saved some of the bad guys from dying. But has it always been this way? And is this something that, as we move into our modern times, into this 21st century, is that really a code that makes sense for heroes? As we like run into villains like, say, the Joker, who somebody really needs to put that, guy down, or something. And is it coming to the point where villains are so bad you need to take a standpoint like the Punisher and just start taking these guys out because they just keep getting back out again and doing their thing? And I was actually reading an old Golden Age Batman story, I think like Detective Comics 2930, something like that. And Batman's like swinging on his rope and he kicks this guy in the neck, breaking his neck and killing him. So Batman has actually killed. Now, it should be noted, Stan pointed this out earlier when we briefly touched on it before the podcast, that Golden Age Batman is not the same as the Batman we have today or know today. In fact, there's a lot of different versions of the characters over the years and everything like that. But at one time, even Superman in Golden Age times wasn't, even though he didn't really actually kill anybody, he used to really threaten to, like, he'd be like, actually, like, use threats, like, I'm gonna crush your throat or whatever if you don't do this or that and everything. They used to be a lot more violent and not really so worrisome about villains dying and stuff. Like, there was a couple times where a villain did die and Batman's like, yep, that's what they deserved. And even Superman has said things like, oh yeah, they deserve that and everything. But what do you guys think of the code of honor with heroes not killing villains, and whether or not that makes sense today? And like, especially, and a good example too, recently, Man of Steel, where Superman actually kills Zod at the end. Normally, Superman, we know, is a non-killer and everything. Still don't really think that's something Superman would be. But again, it's a different version of Superman, not the Superman that we really kind of come to know.
Being a bigger fan of the Marvel universe, we never really had to deal with that. The code of conduct. I mean, even Spider-Man, turned his back on the producer and let that other guy beat up. So in the Marvel universe, it deals with things a little bit more realistically. Whereas in the DC universe, heroes have this. They do have this code of honor. Does it still hold up? I think it does to an extent, because once you take a life, it changes you. No matter what the circumstances are. Even in the Marvel universe, characters are changed forever. For example, when Scott Summers accidentally even killed Professor Xavier, ripped the X-Men apart. So, and changed that universe forever. And I think, yeah, you've got to know right from wrong. You've got to know you've got to know your limits. You should not, if you're going to represent being a hero and doing the right thing. That taking a life is. I'm not saying that it never happens, but it is the last um, resort, the just the last uh, available option.
Right. It's in, and I know you're talking about like in Marvel, especially in modern Marvel. It does seem like some of the heroes may it may not be such a code, but there was a period of time. In fact, I remember some early Avengers, well, not really early Avengers, but early compared to now, like around 1980 and some, where they were even talking specifically about like how they would never, they don't believe in killing. It was one issue where this there was this immortal person who kind of every time he would die he would be reborn and stuff and keep coming back, and he was now in the form of a child, and he was tired of living his life over and over again. He wanted to end it, and he came to the Avengers to have them kill him, and they were like, we can't, even though he was actually a villain before, before he was reborn
Right.
again. They were like, no, no, Captain America especially was like, no, we can't. We're not killers. We don't believe, in killing. That's something we strictly do not do and everything.
Yeah, all the Marvel heroes, they don't want to kill. Even Wolverine doesn't want. Even though he's just
Even
caged,
though he's the best
raised.
there is at what he does,
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that.
but he's the best there is at doing it.
And even you mentioned the Avengers, they didn't want to kill him, but it happened. You know what I mean? So I mean, there's villains that've died. There's been heroes that have died in the Marvel universe. So it's kind of a different parallel than the DC universe, where Batman never kills. He just locks up his um, all the villains in the Arkham Asylum, and they eventually find a way to break out. So yeah, it's a different parallel, really. But I think even in the DC universe, if you've got to handle that really, really carefully, and know that if Batman did kill someone, it was a last resort. There was no other way. There was no other options. So because you don't,
Not in this issue though. From the Golden Age, he
right,
could have done
right,
something else. He just like, I'm gonna swing over here and just kick him in the neck and
yeah,
break his
exactly.
neck.
But
But
maybe that was an accident. Maybe he didn't mean to kill him. But
Well,
possibly. But I
it's.
think
Oh,
go.
sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead, Tech.
no, go ahead. That's all right.
It's funny because I looked up, and it's an article on Crack.com, and it's the 6 most brutal murders committed by Batman.
Oh right.
And yeah, and in Batman #1, he killed 2 people. He actually had a machine gun on his bat plane at that time. Shot the driver of a truck with the machine gun, and then the whole idea of the plot line was basically there was this professor that was taking mentally handicapped patients and injecting them with this thing that gave them like super strength and like super
Ah.
angry and everything, and that's
sounds
what he was
like
trying.
Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of what it sounded like to me too. But and there was a guy in the back of that truck that he shot the driver in that was one of those like juiced up steroid induced freaks of nature, and he literally dropped a noose around his neck and hung him from the bat plane.
Wow, that's pretty gruesome there.
Yeah, and then it was also talking about the where he drops cars on people. Like, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it doesn't say he killed them, but you're dropping a car on a person. Like, they
Right.
didn't live through it.
um, One now, even though Superman in the Golden Age, at least as far as I know anyway, like, unless it's something I don't know about, never directly, deliberately killed anybody. But I mentioned he made a lot of threats and everything. There were a couple times where he freaked people out so much that he caused them to have heart attacks and die.
Right.
So,
Intimidation.
right, exactly. And he wasn't above using a bit more scare tactics that you wouldn't think of Superman doing in our modern concept of, or at least our most common concepts of Superman, like Christopher Reeve as Superman, even George Reeves back in the 50s. You wouldn't think of those that image of Superman ever doing such a thing, but it's there. He had done it in World War II when they used to do all them comic book covers, World War II, propaganda covers with the like supporting the war bonds and stuff like that. There was like covers where they showed Batman and Robin using machine guns and stuff on the covers and everything like that. But we all know Batman hates guns.
Right. Like I said, I'm okay with it. It depends on how it's written and how it's
Mhm.
handled. I mean, if it's handled well, and like I said, it was a last ditch effort. I kind of understand sometimes, or even if it was doing it on accident, you can explore that. Like, I didn't mean to kill him,
Mhm.
and write the repercussions of whatever said event. I think it would make an interesting read for sure.
Right. I still think in Man of Steel that Superman could have done something else other than snap Zod's neck. He could have like flown up in the sky real fast. He could have done something else. He didn't have to snap the guy's neck. They were just trying to be like shocking. I think. I think they
Well, I mean,
showed
Well,
it's. I think say I don't know if you guys read the. It was one of the newer series, but the Injustice spin-off series. It was the storyline of that the fighting game that came out.
yeah, I played it. It's very good.
Yeah. In that one, the Superman from the alternate reality. Basically, it doesn't show it, but what it sounds like is it sounds like he guts Joker with his bare
He
hands.
does, and it does show it, kind
Oh
of.
wow.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's one of those. Yeah, you don't really catch it, but he knocks out Batman because Batman's trying to stop him from doing it,
yeah,
and he murders Joker.
you see the face of the Joker when he punches him in the gut,
Yeah,
and then
but
him
I
go
mean the
like
whole
this.
yeah the whole reason it happens is I mean I would kill him.
You would have killed the Joker too.
I would have killed it if I was in Superman's shoes in that moment. Yeah, I'd have, there'd been
Yeah,
no stopping me.
it's not really a spoiler alert because this is the beginning of the game. This is how the game starts out. You have to play the game to figure out how it ends. But that alternate reality Joker killed Lois Lane, and most of the people in Metropolis by setting off a bomb. So
Well, and it was also at that point in time, Lois Lane was pregnant with Superman's kid,
yes,
Yeah.
and so not
You
only did he kill his
understand
wife,
then.
his unborn kid, and so yeah, at that point, like he crashes in through the wall and knocks out Batman and kills Joker.
and the alternate reality Superman does become a um,
World dictator.
a world dictator that
Because
kind of
after this
becomes
stuff happens,
right, and he kind of becomes self corrupted because the people resent him for it.
Yeah, he snaps and kind of goes off the deep end.
but you would think that Superman though would be stronger than that. That he, that he even. I mean, yeah, I would be freaking upset too, and I'm sure Superman would too.
Well,
But
it
you would think
takes
he's above going on the over the edge though.
it takes the Earth whatever number.
Earth 25 billion zillion.
Wait a
Well,
second.
the actual Superman, this world Superman or whatever you want to call it,
Oh, the Earth One Superman. I
Earth One
guess.
Superman. Thank you.
Yeah,
It takes him to put down the other Superman. So
So the good, normal, good Superman that we all know, he's the one that finally beats this other Superman.
yes, and saves and it's the alternate reality Batman that's calling for alternate or Earth One help. So
it was him
Gotcha.
and it was him and what's his name?
But
Can't
that
think of.
Superman didn't start off bad. It just this situation basically kind of made him end up bad.
right,
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's how the game begins, and that's his breaking point. That's when he snaps and kind of he ends up saying that like he's the only one that can protect the world, basically.
And he ends up
In doing
killing
that,
some
he
other
has to.
Justice League members.
Yeah,
He ends up killing some Justice League members that defy him.
yeah.
Just don't picture that of the Superman that I've
Poor
known and loved growing
Shazam!
up. Poor Shazam! Oh no, he killed Shazam. No.
It's not the only one.
No, it's not.
That's another
It's
interesting thing
there's
there. Um,
that's got a weird that has a weird thing with like somehow they make like a super steroid out of his blood and like there's all kind of weird things going on in that storyline.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
a really good storyline.
Yeah.
You should play through Tech. It was free on PlayStation Plus. You
I
have
have
it.
it. I have it downloaded.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
storyline it's actually one of my favorite storylines from a fighting game.
And it's actually got a crossover comic book. It's got a comic book that was made to go along with it.
I think wasn't that you were talking? Wasn't that what you were mentioning? Liking the comic book that went along with it, or
Yeah, it was it I want to say it was like it was almost free, I'm pretty sure at most comic book shops. Like you
Yes.
could pick it up for almost nothing.
cool?
I don't know that it's still free, but it was free when the game released.
Yeah, cuz I mean it was I don't think it was very many issues, was it?
No, it was. I think it was. It was a 3-issue series or something like that. Yeah.
Here, wait a second, we'll see if I can't find it. It looks to me. Oh wow, no! Apparently they have drastically expanded this.
Okay. When it first started, it was a 3-part series.
Yeah, this is now. It's going on year 4.
Wow.
Wow, 4 years
So,
running.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it went 12 issues in the first year, and 12 in the yeah. It looks like it's got about it's gone an issue a month for the last for up to year 4.
Very cool.
So that's actually kind of neat. Actually kind of want to check that out now.
Well, they're getting ready. You know, they're getting ready to do an Injustice 2 also. So
Oh yeah.
All right.
yeah, Mortal Kombat. Well, they're not going to say it because they're still putting out content for Mortal Kombat 10. But yeah, that studio, once they're done, their next fighting game will be another Injustice for sure. Because you don't put out another Mortal Kombat within the next year or anything.
That's right. Okay, so the comic book starts. The story from the comic book it tells the pre-story of that other world.
Mm-hmm.
Is what is from what I'm reading right now. It basically tells like the stories of that Superman and that Batman and so on and so forth. And then it shows the breaking point and everything else.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense there.
Anyway, those are some good topics, guys.
Yep. Anybody got anything else to add?
I'm not gonna lie, the first person I thought of when you were talking about the code of conduct and all that was Green Arrow. Because he went through a time period where he did just kill people,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of adapted to the code of conduct where he didn't anymore.
Right. Are you talking about in the TV show or even in the comics too?
I don't remember if he actually did it in the comics. I know he did it in the TV show, but I don't remember how it exactly played out in the comics.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a big follower of Green Arrow in the comics, but I love the Arrow TV series. I actually
Yeah,
even
the Arrow
liked
series is
Green
good.
Arrow on Smallville too, but on Arrow is even cooler.
You know why Arrow on CW is so successful? It's because it's Batman.
That is-
Honest to God.
Yeah, I mean, I see exactly where you're going with that. Yeah.
I mean, they've got the Suicide Squad in freaking Arrow. Speaking of which, they were going to do more with Harley Quinn, as was shown in season 2, where she made a special appearance. But now they're not allowed to use the character because of the actual upcoming release of the
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad film.
You know what's interesting? Will Smith is playing Deadshot in the movie, but the movie's not going to have anything to do with the Arrow show because they have Deadshot and Arrow too, but it's not Will Smith.
Right.
And there's still supposed to be a Flash movie, which apparently is still not going to have anything to do with the Flash TV show, which is a totally awesome show. You still have not. You're having to wait for it to come on Netflix, aren't you, Stan?
I am.
Oh man, you're gonna love it. It's great. I'm not gonna tell you nothing about it. It's
It'll
great.
come this fall. I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say my buddy's been watching it. He catches up on it on the CW app or whatever.
Yeah, what you should do, Stan, when it comes out on Netflix, watch that first season quick, and then start watching the current season on CW app or whatever, however you have to, so that you can keep up with us on the current season of it. And that and
Well,
Arrow
there's so
too.
much other things that I'm trying to keep up on too that it just becomes hard.
I know, I can understand that. Plus, there's another series coming in 2016, DC's Legends of Tomorrow. You should check out the trailer for that.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that. It's the
Spin off from
crossover. Yeah,
spin over off crossover for both Arrow and Flash. Yep.
which is kind of like it's a B list of nobodies in the DC universe that's teaming up for heroes. I
Right.
think that's pretty cool.
In a
It's kind of
way,
it's kind of like what Marvel's doing on their Netflix with
the Defenders start
the
with
Defenders.
Daredevil and everything. Also, but at the end of Avengers: Age of Ultron, spoiler alert for anybody who's not seen it, but they have their new group of Avengers at the end,
Yeah.
and most of them are pretty
No
much second
spoilers. Lycan's
comers.
not seen it.
Oh crap! Damn it. But anyway, so there's that. And the next Captain America movie is kind of going to be almost like the third Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Because it's going to deal with that and everything, plus the Civil War, plus possibly introducing Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm
It
still
is,
excited about
and
that.
they've released shots of the villain, and I can't remember what the villain's name was for that.
Oh wait, so Legends of Tomorrow is gonna be Arrow and Flash teaming up?
No, it's going to be, well, it's going to have them in it, like, because it does show them in the teaser, but it's going to be people from both of their shows teaming up. Like, it's
Oh,
actually going to have
that's
Captain Cold is going to be part of it. The Adams from Arrow is going to be part of it.
I really
Uh,
liked the actor they chose for Captain Cold,
yeah.
the
And
guy from Prison Break or whatever.
yeah, and Heatwave, his partner, was also in Prison Break too, and he's actually going to be in it too. And then they got Rip Hunter. I was going to say something, but no, that gives something else away, so I won't say anything. But
I will
but
see if
fans
I
of
can check
Doctor
it out
Who,
soon, so that way you can talk about it.
but fans of Doctor Who might recognize Rip Hunter as actor who played a character uh, on Doctor Who during the 11th Doctor's run. And it's interesting because Rip Hunter is a time traveler, like Doctor Who.
That's
Crossbones is going to be the guy who instigates the Civil War in
Ah,
the upcoming Captain America mo-
cool,
movie.
cool.
And Crossbones' outfit looks kind of like Deadshot's outfit, but a little cooler. And I'm talking about the Will Smith Deadshot outfit,
Mhm.
but a little bit cooler. So
Awesome, awesome.
I really want to see that movie when it comes out, the Civil War.
oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
think it's gonna be really good.
yeah,
I also want to see really really bad. I want to see the Age of Apocalypse movie. So.
yeah. I got to see Days of Future Past. I'm
Oh,
curious. I'm curious as to what they're going to do with Hulk though now too, because even before Age of I can't talk too much about it, but because you haven't seen Age of Ultron yet, like it. But before Age of Ultron even came out,
Well, Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be in Infinity Wars, so
right? But I'm mostly talking about the Hulk, but it does connect to Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, something I had heard was that they're basically gonna take Hulk over to Guardians of the Galaxy. Like basically, Hulk's gonna be like in I don't know the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie or what in one of their movies.
well, I know he's in Civil War, so
Hulk's gonna
uh,
be in Civil War.
yes,
Really?
Hulk is in Civil War, Iron Man's in Civil War.
I knew
It's
Iron Man
basically
was.
Avengers 3.
Yeah, that's I've heard people say like yeah, it's basically gonna be Avengers 3. um, Even though Avengers 3 and 4 are gonna be the two-part Infinity War movie.
Right.
which is gonna be epic. You're gonna but that's gonna be like a smorgasbord of heroes, from all the different movies together. Because you're gonna have the Guardians of the Galaxy in there. Uh, you're gonna have Spider-Man. If they could just squeeze in the X-Men, even the Fantastic Four. Let's pretend that this Fantastic Four movie that's coming out isn't gonna come out, and let's pretend that they sell the rights to X-Men and
It's not going to happen.
I know, but this is my dream world right now.
Hugh Jackman says that Wolverine 3 will be his last Wolverine movie.
Which is a shame, because it would be nice to see him in the Avengers, and it would be nice if they just could work this stuff out and get the whole shebang in there for Infinity War. X-Men, Fantastic Four, Avengers, every freaking other Marvel freaking hero that you never even knew about in movies because they've never been in there. Everybody there, Ghost Rider, Daredevil, the Defenders, get all of them in there, and it's like, boom, it's like, there's so many freaking heroes on the screen, you can't even keep track of them all.
The budget for that movie would have to be just astronomical. Oh my god! Like, it's hurting my brain trying to think of a number high enough.
Yeah, because you gotta pay for you've got to pay for Michael Fassbender. You've got to pay for freaking.
The guy playing Daredevil on the Netflix Daredevil show says he wishes he could at least do a cameo though in Civil War, in Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah, I heard him say that.
We do know that Daredevil, even though it's not like it's kind of a part, we do know it is still part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they even reference like what happened in the first Avengers movie in New York in it and everything. Plus a Daredevil Spider-Man team-up movie.
Like, don't they reference the Avengers fight in the very first episode of Daredevil?
Yeah.
When they're talking about picking out the apartment or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I seem to remember something.
They reference it 3 or 4 times throughout the series, actually.
I mean, think about, Spider-Man and Daredevil have done a lot together and everything.
When the
movie with them, Daredevil and Spider-Man,
the first episode, they pointed out when they're getting ready to buy the apartment, and then later on, Fisk mentions it, and then also the reporter has the headline from where he actually did the story on it.
They even mentioned too, like when the guy's like, "How's this guy beating you up? Does he have a shield? Does he have a hammer?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if he had those stuff, I could understand, but or does he have I don't know if he mentions like Iron Man or Hulk or anything, but he's like, yeah, if he's got that, but he's just some guy. How the hell did he beat all you guys up?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of hidden references to the main Marvel universe too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It would be cool if they squeeze Daredevil into maybe even if they don't do it with Civil War, but maybe somehow into the Spider-Man, maybe have him cameo on that. It'd be nice for him to be in Civil War though. But
if you miss Stanley's cameo in Daredevil, it was there. It's actually a Employee of the Month photo as him dressed up as a police officer, and it's behind the police desk.
But he doesn't do a live.
No, it's not a live cameo.
So I got a quick question for you guys in regards to Guardians of the Galaxy. So, Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Or Star-Lord, I mean.
Star-Lord.
Yeah, Star-Lord, that's what I meant.
Star Destroyer. No, the thing that's going to blow up everything in Star Wars, right?
Yeah, no, not that thing.
Well, that would be the Death Star.
Yeah, that would be the Death Star anyways. But, who is his dad?
I don't know.
I didn't.
I know they talked about the fact, because I read about it a lot online, where they're talking about the fact that it's not the original story.
Yeah,
it's completely different. It's going to be somebody else is going to be his dad. It's not going to be Warlock.
To be honest, I didn't keep
Warlock
up with Guardians of
was
the
Star-Lord's
Galaxy.
dad in the comics?
He was one of the ones rumored to be his dad. There's been 4 different Star-Lords.
Warlock is not even human. Warlock was originally created by the Beehive. He was just called him, and then became known as Warlock and everything. And he was he was part of the Infinity. Shoot, dang it! You haven't seen Avengers: Age of Ultron. Well, the one character, Stan, you'll know who I'm talking about, that they introduce in Avengers Age of Ultron. He's got this thing in his forehead. I'm not going to say what it is, but that thing in his forehead.
Oh man, he's on the posters. You can go ahead and say it's the Vision.
Okay, the Vision.
I know what it is. It's spoiler alert. It is one of the Infinite Crystals.
Right, and it's the same one that Adam Warlock always used to wear, the Soul Gem. Although they call it the Mind Gem now.
Right.
But the Vision is wearing it instead of Warlock, so it's almost like, is Vision going to be sort of the Warlock character in this?
I
The
don't.
way they made him out to be, like he was able to pick up Thor's hammer. Oh, damn it! Sorry.
Stop. All right, we gotta stop
All right,
the
we gotta
podcast
stop talking
now.
about this. Like and go see Avengers Age of Ultron.
We'll do a spoilers cast next week.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, we gotta.
I didn't even. I actually didn't hear what you said, so it's okay because I was trying to read something about because I found something online where it's talking about Star Lord's father has been right under our nose all along.
Ah,
Cool.
okay. Yeah, I am curious to find out who Star Lord's father is supposed to be.
Well, yeah, because they said I guess in the original comic book it was a guy named Jason or
Jason.
Jason. I don't know how you actually say this dude's name. Prince King Jason or Jason of the I can't remember, but it's
nobody I even ever heard of. So.
Yeah.
Except for Jason the Red Hair. Jason the Red Hair, Star Lord's dad.
But the movie is actually not following comic book canon.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are probably like me. I did not keep up with Guardians of the Galaxy comic book ever. I may have seen Rocket Raccoon make a special appearance in an Avengers comic, but that was about the extent of my knowledge of that series.
Rocket Raccoon first appeared in the 20th anniversary issue of the Incredible Hulk number 271, and his character was totally different. He was a lot nicer and friendlier than he acts in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Plus, the Guardians of the Galaxy in this movie are not the original Guardians of the Galaxy team that they originally came up with in the comic books. It's more of the modern Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
The Star-Lord wasn't even
now,
part of it.
Yeah, and that's like the guy the guy that takes everything literally. I can't think of his name right now.
But even that being said,
Drax the Destroyer.
Yeah, how he's actually a human or starts off a human.
Did he start off as a human in the comic? I don't know.
Drax started off as a human, and then someone made him into what he is. Wait a second. I can't remember it right now.
That being said, though, the general consensus is that not a whole lot of people knew about this series going into it. They just know it's put out by Marvel. They did Avengers. It's going to be awesome, and it was.
It was, yeah. It definitely was. Gamora, she's like actually the daughter of Thanos in the comics. I don't know if she is in the movies. And she first appeared actually in the Warlock series in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Before Warlock died, before he came back later on in the Infinity storylines, the Infinity Gauntlet and stuff. But Warlock, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, some little imp guy named Pip. They used to be like a little group that they hung out together and stuff. So I wonder if they're kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, sort of like a different version of them too, to tie into the Infinity stuff, just taking the place, kind of like in where, and you probably know about this about Age of Ultron, is that you know how Ultron was originally built by Hank Pym, Ant-Man. Well, in the movies, he's not. It was built by
in the movies, he's built.
Right. They're substituting like the role of certain characters from past.
Yeah, that was in the trailer too.
Right. Yeah, and then also, well, I mean, the thing about it is that's not the first time that it's been claimed that Tony Stark built Ultron. There was a cartoon like a couple of or like 3 or 4 years ago, I think. And it was all about the fact that Tony Stark was raising the kids of all the superheroes that Ultron killed. And that...
that was like the Kid Avengers in the future or something like that.
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's not the first time that they've said that Tony Stark created Ultron.
Yeah. At least outside of the comics, but in the comic books, it was actually Hank Pym that created him.
Oh, okay. Oh, I found the whole Drax thing. So apparently, Thanos' father mentor and Kronos captured a guy named Arthur Douglas's spirit and put it into the body of Drax the Destroyer.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah, that's how he was actually created. He was driving on the desert with his wife and daughter, and his car was attacked by Thanos in a spaceship. That's just. Oh, who thinks the humans have seen him? Okay, so that's why he kills them. And yeah, so he that's why he's talking about how his wife and everything was killed. Like his wife was actually killed, but it was while he was a human. But I don't know. I just think Rocket Raccoon is probably my favorite character in that show or in that movie, just because he's hilarious.
Yeah,
Played by Bradley Cooper, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I just think it's hilarious when he's like, "I need his leg," and so he hands it to him. He's like, "I didn't need his leg, but what did he look like hopping around?" And then he was talking. He was like, "I'm gonna need that guy's eye." No, you're not. Stop. I don't know. He was a good introduction of some levity in that movie. On top of the fact that Star-Lord's basically fumbling through everything he does and hoping it works out.
I like my heroes that do that, though.
I do too. I like heroes that are it's almost more luck than skill is involved a lot.
Indiana Jones does it a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Like how he does everything is like, man, I hope this works.
That's pretty much Harrison Ford in a nutshell. I mean, even when he's playing Han Solo, no matter who he's playing.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. In all of those movies, he was definitely just hoping everything worked out 90% of the time.
Right.
Even in that Hollywood Homicide movie, I mean, where he's, it'll work out, hopefully.
I mean, like in Fugitive, he jumps off a dam and hopes to live.
Yep.
Harrison, we've just cracked the code. Harrison Ford is the luckiest person alive.
Yeah. Well, he kind of lucked into getting the role of Han Solo. He was like working as a carpenter on the set. They didn't have anybody else to read the role at the time, so they had him read it along with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and they're like, "Man, he reads this better. Okay, hey, why don't you be Han Solo?" And
he was lucky to be.
That led to him getting Indiana Jones.
Actually, he was lucky to be Indiana Jones. They were going to cast Tom Selleck, and Tom Selleck was busy.
And so like, hey, Harrison Ford's here. Hey, we know you. You were in Star Wars we worked with you in Star Wars. Hey, let's have him do it.
Well, that's just like, I mean, this is going to go to a non Star Wars or comic book or anything related to realm, but it's movie related still. That's just like Full Metal Jacket. Gunny wasn't started as the original role. He was brought on as he's never actually been a drill sergeant or a drill instructor is what they call it in the Marine Corps, but he was brought on as a consultant to tell people how to talk. And he went up to show somebody how they were supposed to read the lines, and he sounded better than the actor they'd hired, and so that's how he got the role.
Awesome.
Because they were saying, I guess, that the original actor wasn't intimidating enough.
I like that guy in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, too. It was really good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about it, guys. We've been going for...
We're in overtime.
Yeah, we're in overtime now.
We're fixing to run out of our live broadcast time anyway.
All right. Well, it was awesome having you guys here. Appreciate you being with us tonight, Lycan. And
thanks.
Great topics, everybody. And we'll see you next time on the Intrepidation Nation. And don't forget to check out intrepidgurus.com. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in the future.